Welcome to the CBIA BizCast. I'm your host, Warshavsky. And today on our podcast, we are joined with the president of Foxwoods Casino, Jason Guyette. You became interim CEO at the height of the pandemic in April of 2020, and we'll definitely touch on that. But I also heard you have an incredible path to becoming president. So we definitely want to hear that story. Welcome, Jason.
Yeah, Ali, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, you're a lifelong Connecticut resident, I heard, and you began your career at Foxwoods in 2003. What were you doing then? I'm assuming you weren't sitting in the same seat.
No, I was not. Yeah, actually, I started even earlier than that. In the mid-90s, like 1995, I worked as a bellhop.
The state's high cost of living has been a barrier to growth. What can be done to address that? We've been lucky to see an influx of New Yorkers coming in, but many of these were coming in from the city, from Westchester, where the cost of living was also high. How do we lower it so that more people can find Hartford and the surrounding areas a more attractive place to live and work?
What role did the Groton location play in the development of the vaccine? Because as you mentioned, there's so many processes that go into developing this vaccine. And I think that when we spoke before, some of the earliest process of developing it was at Pfizer.
What better way to start off your role than having all these severe weather events, right? What operational and infrastructure changes has Eversource made to address the impact of climate change, including the more severe weather events that you mentioned and we've been seeing? And how does Eversource prepare for these events?
And, we talked about the employees and struggling to regain your full staff back, but how has it been for the customers, for the people booking the hotel rooms, coming to the slot machines? Have you recovered most of that business?
Yankees or Red Sox?
Oh man, now you're breaking my heart because I'm a Yankees fan and they disappeared a long time ago. The Red Sox are on fire.
Well, thank you so much for coming on our podcast, and thanks for listening to this week's BizCast. You can listen and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, YouTube, and for more episodes,